So let's go to the Arjuna's question first of all. So Arjuna says, I desire to know severally, O mighty arm, the essence or truth of renunciation or Rishikesha, as also of abandonment, which is Tyāga, or slayer of Keshi, Krishna. So Arjuna wants to know in detail the truth, the essence of the truth about, first of all, Sannyāsa, and then secondly about Tyāga. And we may wonder why Arjuna is asking this question, because in the previous chapter we're talking about, other things which then has triggered or something in Arjuna's mind, which is to say, okay, you have talked about all these things in terms of the three gunas and how we can look at various different things in terms of my actions and what I'm doing as Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic, where the attachment is coming from, and so on, is now bringing the focus back onto the practical aspects of renunciation and abandonment and the relationship to those two moksha. So he wants to know the truth of renunciation as well as abandonment. So Bhagwan says, the sages understand sannyas to be renunciation of works with desire. That is number one. And the wise declare the abandonment of the fruit of all actions as Tyāga. So fruit of all actions means that anything which I do will have a result. This is the law of karma yoga. Karma. Law of karma says whatever you do will have a consequence, and that consequence is the result of our actions. So normally what happens, we are attached to the result of our actions. I want this, I want that, I want this in a particular way, I want it in this particular form. And think about the cup of coffee. You want it exactly as you like it. In this case, I want a particular result, and we get attached. So what Bhagwan is saying, abandonment is giving up all those fruits of all of our actions. On the other hand, sannyas, renunciation of works with desire. In other words, I give up the actions itself. And if I give up the action as well as the fruit of the action, then my pathway is clear to take me to that which is the highest. So all actions should be abandoned as evil. Some philosophers declare, others declare there are certain things which you can't give up. Acts of sacrifice, gift, austerity should not be relinquished. In other words, these will keep on going on. Even if you abandon everything which have to do with the desire, which have to do with the vasanas, whether it is Rajasic, Tamasic or Sattvic, there are certain things which will not be given up, which is sacrifice, gift and austerity. Where the actions are related to that, there is no giving up. So hear from me the conclusion or the final truth. Bhagwan says, this abandonment, or best of Bharatas, abandonment has been declared to be of three kinds. What are the three kinds? And he will explain just now. And the acts of sacrifice, yajna, charity, dana, austerity, tapas, should not be abandoned, but should be performed with the way in which Bhagwan has described this to us before, within the gunas as a Sattvic yajna, Sattvic dana, and Sattvic tapas. Worship, charity, and also austerity, what he says is very important here. They are the purifiers of even the wise. Even the wise. Now, what does he mean by even the wise? The sages. Because they've gone through this whole purification process. And what he's saying, even if there is something which is remaining, which needs to be purified, and even in the state of Sattvic purification, if we still want to purify ourselves of the Sattvic guna itself, then perhaps sacrifice, charity, and austerity will take us that one step further and give us that entire purity. But even these actions should be performed leaving aside what? The attachments and the fruits, whatever it is, that abandonment needs to be complete. Okay, so you can do the act, but leaving aside the fruit of the action, but these are the purifiers, and therefore the purification is important for our journey, and we need to make sure that we are doing some of these things. In other words, do the prescribed actions, but do them without attachment to the results. Again, this message is coming through that there is certain things which we are going to do, and this is the ordinance of the scriptures, like Bhagwan has told us before, Shabda Praman, whereby we have to carry out certain things.